It has, but we should not pretend not to be aware that most of the young priests today are coming from the same society. So we have to first of all revisit the meaning of conversion and redemption, because whatever is on offer today, we know that it's ephemeral. Many young people have run out of the country and they are confused because what they expected is not what is happening. 2 weeks ago, I read that a place like Sweden is investing some hundreds of millions to introduce books because they went digital, first of all, and they thought that was the way forward. After 20 years, they are regretting, and they are now insisting that the first phase of education must be books. The biggest problem I see with our country is that we did not have a civilization that is Nigerian, that really evolved into modern civilization, which I will not call European or American. We started from traditional setting and found ourselves in European democracy and republican forms of government without even evolving something from the traditional setting. So today I laugh because we're neither Nigerians nor Europeans. So it is one of the biggest problems, because even if money syndrome is talked about, we're asking ourselves, where did it come from? Maybe it is part of the modern times and part of media, what they see on television. You know, when you go to Europe, you see that Europeans don't live as we want to live. There is Hollywood civilization, just as you now have Nollywood civilization in Nigeria and our media setting. So we need to reinvest in part of primary evangelization, catechesis, preaching the word of God. Because this for me is going forward, preaching the word of God as it should be preached. The Pentecostal syndrome, twisting the arms of God, being advisors to God on how he should answer prayer, on how he should solve problems, on how God ought to do. Now man is becoming God and God is becoming the listener to man. All these are the things really affecting us. You know, talking about poverty is a subject I like to address hopefully as God gives life, collaborating with the government. Our collaboration with the government has been more checkered than successful. When we speak with people in government, politicians, they are excited. But when the ideas come, they use them for their manifesto and nothing happens. We have had cause to discuss human trafficking. Europeans came from the EU. They said they were bringing investment. They brought money. The money did not come to the people who even generated the conversation. We have gone for meetings in Rome, in Spain, in England, all on human trafficking, and it has become politicized. There is no sincere empowerment, and this can be said anywhere. I don't blame them. There is no free money anywhere in the world. Europeans put their money where they will get return. And their return is, what are you giving back to us? Because many of us think, oh, they will give us money. Of course, if they won't give you money if you are not giving back to them. So there is this impoverishment. And I am not a fan of palliatives, or what we call government welfarism. When people are hungry, government gives them welfare. Government gives them palliative. That is even more impoverishing. For me, the collaboration I want to do with government is, how can we make the people eke out, fend for themselves, eke out a living, help everybody to get a job, to be providing enough for pride. On New Year Day, I said to the people that the government, people in government have stolen money, but the worst form of crime committed so far by people in government is they have stolen the dignity of the average Nigerian. When a man begins to beg without shame, it means he doesn't believe again in dignity. And that is what they have done. Look at the crisis of people dying, queuing, struggling for rice in Abuja, in Ibadan, somewhere in eastern Nigeria, not far from here, after Onitsha. So as for poverty and evangelization, we have to again revisit, why do people become Christians today? Are they really converted, or it is for miracle? And how come this is only affecting Christians? Do Muslims believe in the same miracle, or they simply believe in sadaqah? That is the same welfareism. The charitable acts that we used to do and then help people begin to provide for themselves has been taken over by government. There is no end to this conversation, because I don't want it to sound more of a monologue. Government is not here to respond to me. I would have loved a dialogue with persons who have the authority to let us hear. However, has poverty affected us? Maybe poverty is diminishing the number in our churches, because people are running to look for miracles which we don't give them. We give you Jesus, who helps you to decide how to survive and fend for yourself, rather than to tell you, oh, come to Jesus. Without buying lottery ticket, he will multiply money for you. Come to Jesus. I used to ask people, if you say, God, give me bread, and bread falls from your ceiling, how many will eat? The days of manna are over. When God led the Jews out of the troubled times, as soon as they got to the promised land, manna ceased. And God says, now you can fend for yourself. So we should know, stop giving palliatives, give people how to fend for themselves. That too may be managed with security. And every day we read on television that times have improved. We only pray and hope that they are not political statements, but real changes.